Hello, me handsomes, and welcome back to another build up to the Oscars week. And today, as promised, we're looking at teen comedies. What is meant by this? Well, there's comedies and there's what I call teen comedies. Now, these are slightly ruder comedies, might involve foul language, possibly nudity, more adult humour, sometimes very stupid humour, but more adult humour. And these are my top 5 things. Now, this is a big thing from when I was growing up. I feel like I was a part of the generation where this was massive in my teen years, these kind of films. But hey, let's just jump into the list so you kind of understand what it is we're kind of talking about. So, at number 5, it's Road Trip. Now, a Seann William Scott film, and this won't be the first time on the list that he appears, but it's effectively a group of friends who are going on a road trip due to a romantic issue. And again, it won't be the first time that a similar thing like this pops up. Now, there is another guy in it, and I, for the life of me, cannot think of his name, so I'm just giving it a Google because I cannot think of his name. But he's one of those actors who's just in loads of stuff, but you don't have a clue what his actual name is. Breckin Meyer. Breckin Meyer is basically in a relationship with someone. He sends a videotape off to someone and realises accidentally he kind of filmed a bit of a sex tape at the same time, and sends both of them off to her. And it's basically the story of him travelling from his college to his girlfriend's college to try and intercept the videotape. Seann William Scott's in it, playing effectively a Stifler-like person, so you know how this kind of film goes. But it's a very, very funny film, and it's based around an individual in the film basically telling the story of how it happened. But yeah, they get into all sorts of mayhem. They steal an old school bus, get into fights, loads of kind of funny things that happen in the film. So it's a good, funny film. Like I say, there is some nudity involved with it, which is why I'd probably call it an adult comedy film, a teen comedy film, and there's a bit of stupidity in it as well. But it is a funny, funny film. And number 4. And now I debated with this one. I debated between number 2, number 3, and number 4. So these are all very close, apart from number 1, which is the obvious. But number 4 is Old School. Now, Old School is basically an adult who tries to set up a fraternity at a college. It's got Will Ferrell in it, which is one of his greatest ever roles in it. Where he plays Frank the Tank, who's just like they're basically all old guys who set up an old fraternity at a college. But I don't know why, it's very stupid, it's very funny. They go streaking. The famous Will Ferrell quote, we go streaking. Yeah, it's a very, very funny, stupid film. And obviously the dean, who they know, is just trying to get rid of them. But yeah, it's a feel-good film at the same time. Like it's not just about them getting drunk and having all these parties and doing stupid things as grown men with college people. It's about giving some of the people they bring in are losers, you'd call them. So they just try and give them a bit of confidence and make them feel a bit good about themselves. So it's a very funny film. I'd strongly recommend doing it. Now, this does have bad language and nudity in it, so that to be aware of. But it is a very funny, good film. Number 3, like I said, the 2 and 3 are very close, but it is Euro Trip. Now, Euro Trip is one of my favourite films growing up as a teenager. It's very similar to the Road Trip story, where bit of a confusion around a love interest. Basically, Scotty, the main character, no relation, gets cheated on. Matt Damon sings a very funny song to him about Scotty doesn't know. And then he has a pen pal who realises was flirting with him. He thought was a guy, is actually an attractive German girl. So he then travels to Germany to try and find her and meet her and fall in love with her. Really funny film. Obviously, it's just about Americans being stupid in the UK and Europe. You go to UK, they go to a Manchester United football club place in London, where Vinnie Jones is there. Go to France, go to Italy where they see a creepy guy, France where they fight a mime, Holland where they just try all their sex stuff and think they're on pot, but they're not actually on pot brownies, they just think they are. Yeah, a very good, funny film. Very stupid film. There are times where it's really stupid, but it is very funny. And it's kind of one of my highlights of growing up. That film was just funny. Again, bad language and nudity in it, but a funny film. Number 2 is what I would call arguably one of the best films ever, but in the sake of this list I've not put it as number 1, which you understand, but it's Superbad. Jonah Hill, Michael Cera playing awkward teenagers who are coming of age and they just want to get laid, have fun, go drinking and stuff like that, but they're just a bit loserish, and it's just a story of their night where they try and get stuff done, which just ends up turning into a ridiculous adventure. And of course it has the world famous McLovin in it. The actor, who I don't know his name, he's just in stuff, but will always just be referred to as McLovin. Yeah, a really funny film because Jonah Hill is really good in it. He's the fat guy in it. Michael Cera is just Michael Cera, the same person he plays in every single film. Excuse me. But a very, very funny film with really funny moments. And then it's got Bill Hader turns up, Seth Rogen turns up, lots of just random actors turn up in it. Yeah, very funny, very unique, brilliant film. I can't really describe it very well. I'm not doing it very good justice, but it is a very good, funny film. Obviously, McLovin is one of the show stealers, which is basically, if you don't know it, a nerdy teen who gets a fake ID and calls himself McLovin, and that's the only name on there. So it's quite funny. But number 1, it's the films that were key to when I was growing up. American Pie. Now I'm going to actually put these in the franchise of the American Pie franchise, mainly 1, 2 and 3 because the rest are crap. But you know, if we were specifically looking at one film, obviously it's American Pie 1. Again, coming of age, really similar to the Superbad story, where it's about some teenagers who are a bit awkward trying to get laid before they finish high school, basically, and go off to college. Really funny, really awkward show. Again, there's some nudity, bad language in it. Hilarious though, absolutely hilarious film. Again, it's very stupid comedy, but some of it is like awkwardly relatable in the fact that he's quite an awkward person, Jim, the main character, and that he's just struggling with trying to do what he needs to do. He's trying to impress people he doesn't need to impress, and then turns out the girl that he likes and eventually marries is just this kind of also quite awkward nerdy girl. And he's just trying to kind of go with the popular girls. And again, Seann William Scott appears in his iconic Stifler role, which is one of the funniest roles ever, of this guy who's just uber confident, creepy almost, stupid guy. And I knew people like that, so it's definitely a relatable film. But that's affecting my list of top 5 what I call teen comedies, kind of stupid comedies. Tomorrow, what shall we look at doing tomorrow? Well, tomorrow, hey, let's look at, we've got 2 days left. No, we don't. We have 1 day left. This would be the 4th one, so the next one will be the last one. So, hey, tell you what, let's be a bit fun, a bit stupid. Let's look at top 5 musical films. Now, some of these will divide, but films that either have a musical aspect to it or have a lot of music played in it. So that's what we're going to look at for the final day of the Oscars 2025 week, and then we'll have some more coming out next year, so you will have to wait for them. But ta for watching, take care, we'll see you soon. Ta for now.